What's up, everyone? Back again for another video here, coming at you from inside the house because I just got done editing this video and realized I never made an intro for it. So here it is. I got another snook and tarpon video for you guys. Hope you guys like it. Caught some fish in this one, but it's kind of thrown together. It might be a little bit janky because I had some camera issues. I lost some audio, I lost some clips, so I kind of had to do some pause and voiceovers in this video to kind of keep you guys up to speed with what's going on in the video and kind of what had just transpired because I lost some random clips. I'm not sure what happened there, but ended up catching some fish, got some cool footage, so definitely check it out. Hope you guys like it. Any of you that are asking about the bass videos, they're coming. I've been trying to get out there and bass fish. I think I've been out there a time or two filming, and quite frankly, just haven't caught anything that's been worthy of making a video of. Lake Okeechobee is in its true summertime form. I don't care who you talk to on the lake. It is a total grind out there. With that being said, my customers are still happy. We are still catching some fish. You just got to work for them a lot. I'm even going to say a little harder. You got to work for them a lot harder right now. Water temps in the 90s. It's tough. Okay, it's August. It's August. I don't care where in the country you're fishing. If you're not fishing for a smallmouth, it's going to be difficult. Maybe if you're on Cayuga, way up north, you know, I mean, obviously I'm talking about the South. I mean, if you're up there in New York, the guys are smashing them up there right now in the MLF. So, but down south, it's tough. But it's Lake Okeechobee, so you never know. I mean, literally you can go out there and your very next cast or flip could be the fish of a lifetime. But yeah, it's tough. But did the little snook and tarpon thing again. But I really think my next few videos after this one are probably going to be out there on Okeechobee fishing for bass. So appreciate you guys watching, following along. Appreciate everybody that's calling and booking trips. If you're looking to come down here and fish this fall or winter, give me a call sooner than later. This is not a sales pitch, but I've got a lot of people reaching out to me over the past few days, getting dates booked in October, November, and December. So just to fill you guys in on that. So I'm going to go to bed. I got to work tomorrow. I am beat. This 100-degree weather is killing me, but it is what it is. So I guess I will catch you guys on the next one and enjoy the video. Enjoy the tarpon jumps. I'll see you guys next time. All right, you guys, so basically that first clip you saw of the fish blowing up my bait in the pads, that was a big snook that was pushed up shallow, and that's kind of how I started my morning, was going down the bank super slow, making long casts up underneath the trees and up shallow, looking for some big snook that would be pushed up there at first light in the morning. Had a lot of activity, had that same blow up happen 5 or 6 times in about a 300-yard stretch. Unfortunately, I never connected with any of them. I don't know why, but they were acting extra finicky this morning. Blowing the bait up, chasing the bait, head waking it, slashing behind it, doing everything you'd like, but they just never committed to it. So did that for a while and then ended up finding a big pot of tarpon rolling out in the center of the canal. So I started targeting them, and I'm sure you'll see a clip here in a minute of some of the fish, boiling the bait again and rolling all around it. But they were being extra finicky this morning also. So what you're not going to see, because there's just there was a whole bunch of nothing on camera, was I ended up going across the canal to another bank and working that bank very well. And I had a couple of really big snook swim by me. But I couldn't get them to commit either. Made perfect casts to them, but they wanted nothing to do with anything I was throwing. And basically, before my audio cut out, I was cutting back out to the middle of the canal, and I was talking to the camera about what I was going to do with the rest of the morning and what my game plan in my head at the time was going to be. And then we actually ended up hooking up to a fish. So I'll let you guys see that, and then we'll kind of touch base in just a minute. That was a tarpon. I'm gonna do one drift out here, like I said, see what happens. It is boiling hot. There we go. Hey. What a weird bite that was. Just a little tick. All right. Never complain about these. Little guy, but ooh, he's got me gill plated. There we go. Those tarpon jump, they flare them gills open, your leader will get all caught in there. Cool little fish. Look at that little guy. Hooked on the outside of the mouth. So what'll happen with these guys when they jump that violently, a lot of times they will, you know, they will throw the hook. But what they shake so violently, they'll actually rehook themselves. The hook will actually find another place. Like when I brought him to the boat, he was hooked on the inside of the mouth right up through the top lip, and now he's hooked on the outside of the face. So that's probably what happened with this guy. He's a little one, but I don't complain about it. Look, he's starting to take on that gold coloring from being in here for so long, which is neat. Oh, and there he goes. Perfect. Don't need to bring him out of the water. I was gonna actually show you guys where you could see where I had him hooked the first time and he threw it, but okay. Well, that was cool. Didn't get to really pick him up and show you guys, but that's all right. That's the size that'll do a lot of damage to himself in your boat. Cayman green. You know, they'll jump around in the boat, but I'm gonna put a new bait on. Try to throw it a couple more, I guess, while they're here, and then, like I said, like I was trying to say, we're gonna go look for a snook. Okay, so ended up catching a nice tarpon there, perfect size fish, a lot of fun, and then ended up just kind of hanging out in that general vicinity for about 20 more minutes before moving on. I didn't want to waste any more precious low light conditions. That doesn't seem to be as crucial for getting the tarpon bites, in my opinion, in this area, but the lower light conditions, I seem to do much better and having more success on getting big snook bites at that time. So decided to move forward and start covering some water and was throwing a Yozuri jerk bait down the bank. And what I ended up doing was fishing the mouths or cuts on the main canal, but the mouths of these smaller canals that fed in off of the main water. And ended up making a long cast to a cut, overshot my cast, ended up landing on a tree. The bait would not free from the branches, so I ended up having to power pull down and wade over and kind of dissect my bait out of the tree. And the plan was to just keep going down the bank. But I said, you know what? What the hell? Let me go down this little backwater slough. I've fished it many, many times, but I've never caught anything. But I remember a time listening to Gerald Swindle in a seminar, and he said, everyone gets so pissed off when you get snagged or you make a wrong cast or whatever, but sometimes maybe it's trying to tell you something, you know, be optimistic about it. So I said, what the hell? I got nothing else to do. Ended up poking into this backwater area, and spoiler alert, literally first cast, I ended up catching a nice snook. Not a giant, but super fun on 10-pound braid. So, yeah, check it out. He's got me in his gill plate. This way. These are no walk in the park with treble hooks either. They'll act a little better than a tarpon does. There we go. I couldn't tell if he hit it or if I ran into that stick. Okay, here we go. Really nice fish. I thought he was a little bigger than that when he hit it, but you know how they all look bigger in the water, but really nice fish. You can see how dark they are in here, that really dark back. They just camouflage so well in this dark water, but super pretty fish. Probably, I don't know, he's slot, but not snook season and we don't want to keep them anyway out of here. So really nice fish, really pretty. Go ahead and turn them loose. See you later, buddy. All right, that was cool. Literally threw up around a tree and I think he might have headbutted it. It felt like a bite, but I thought maybe I just ran into the wood, and then just a couple twitches later and he got it. Just, well, I've got a mess now because I have a bunch of braid hanging out, but just on a lipless Yozuri twitch bait. I forget what they exactly call this, but I got to get all this bundled up braid out of this hook and then we'll try to catch another one. So after catching that snook, I got back out on the main canal and just literally put the trolling motor on constant and just started heading down river and just trying to cover water, finding new spots, and really had no success at all. I ended up fishing for almost 2 hours without seeing anything, having any bites whatsoever. And I ended up kind of finding another pod of big tarpon making their way down the canal. Had a few follow my bait up, and then I started seeing a bunch of them rolling around. Figured it's late in the day, nothing's really going on. I might as well sit here and try to play with these guys. So that's kind of what I did. So that'll kind of be, I think, the last clip in the video. I do apologize for being on the phone for the remainder of the video. Kelly had given me a call. I hadn't touched base with him in a couple of weeks, so me and him were just kind of discussing the lake and areas we need to fish and everything like that. And if you guys have been following my channel for any remainder of, or any amount of time at all, you guys know that I have a really good habit of being on the phone with Kelly and catching fish. I don't know what it is. Every time he calls, it's like all hell breaks loose. And this was kind of no different. So check it out. These are the guys that I had like 25 pounds of tin house with last year, or when I found those fish for them kids in that grass. These are the same guys. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably just go to the... Oh, you hear that? He jumped like a 50-pound tarpon at the boat. Yeah, I had him hooked and he aired out. I wasn't even trying to catch a tarpon. I was trying to catch a snook. I'm glad he threw that. Yeah. Really? That was fun. Good. Where's that?
You remember that cut?
God, leave me.
Yes, in the morning, the spook works good around over the rocks because you don't have to hit the rocks. You can do a spook out there over top of the rocks off the edge of the grass. The only reason you can catch more on trout, but on trout, you just hit those rocks and you get hung up and you got to go over there.
Right.
Or break it off. The spook keeps you off the rocks.
Yeah. Shit. I got like a 30-pound tarpon on.
Do you?
Yeah. I tried to go over there and like I said, I threw a spook, but I didn't get bit. But
I haven't been able to do anything right on that damn lake since Roland's. I don't know.
I wanted to go to the Carmen's hole because I'm like you, them fish out in the open water, that whole deep hole out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's on that first reef. That's where the Carmen hole's at. It's kind of like when you come out of the channel, you head like to the water tower on the right hand side, about halfway to the water tower.
Right.
Actually, and you turn and go towards Rita. There's a reef right there.
Over toward. Yeah, didn't they used to call it something different though? The reef.
It's an inside reef. I don't know what people call it, but there was
the jug reef or something, right?
Rock reef.
I think.
Lake got low. You had to watch it.
Yeah, Jeff used to call it the jug reef, I think.
He might have, and it's probably because the commercial fishermen, the trout liners used to put their lines out there and they had the jugs out there. But there you go down at the reef. If you had a GPS, you can see you go down it, and then there's a hole in the reef. There's where it just drops off like 9 foot of water.
Right.
It's a pretty good sized hole, and I mean Jimmy and Carmen found it, I think. But Jimmy, Jeff, Brandon. Not Jeff, Dylan and Jared, and then they were catching them out of there. You know, a lot of people were catching them out of there when the lake was low.
Right.
It's only two. That I fished a 9 foot hole too. I was going to go there the other day when I was out there, but it was just too bumpy.
Well, that's what it's been like for me. Like, it's blowing right now. You know, and that's half the reason I said I'm just going to come play with these things, because it's supposed to blow 20 mile an hour all week. I don't think it's blowing 20 right now, but it's ripping down this river right now.
Yeah, it's blowing pretty good. I see these trees are just swaying around.
Right.
Just swaying around.
Dude, these tarpon are freaking the fattest damn fish in the state right here. Yeah. I'm about to pick them up. If I can move all my shit out the way. I don't got this one on a treble hook, thank God. They're all just so damn fat. I guess they're all just eating shad in here. I don't know. Yeah, fat as mud. That's probably the biggest one I've caught out of here. Pretty. Oh. Swim off. No, I got the hook out. I didn't hook him on the. I had a swim bait with a jig head on too, so I threw that at him so I wouldn't have to deal with them treble hooks. Got a snook. Not a big one, but I've got them. Oh, he choked it. Pretty fish. He might not be big, but it's a fish. All right, so now we got to deal with getting treble hooks out. God, he did it sideways. Little guy, but middle of the day grind. Pretty fish. Right in one of these cuts. Just T-bone this little twitch bait again. Maybe there's another one in there with them.